What is up, everyone? What is going on? Here we are. It is a Friday. It's a Friday morning. Normally, that coffee tastes a little bit better. I don't know if it does. We'll find out. Haven't had a sip yet. You know the beauty of this thing. I wait to have my first sip of coffee with you. It's a blessing and it's a curse at the same time because the moment I wake up, I need coffee flowing through my damn veins. But it's a blessing because to enjoy the coffee with you is what makes this so beautiful. So, with that being said, where do we begin today? Well, I think it has to be with the Philadelphia 76ers after that fantastic win last night. That is what they call dominance. That is what they call defense. That is what they call amazing defense. That is how this works. Amazing defense. Yeah, Ben Simmons was ridiculous. Dwight Howard was also ridiculous. Dwight Howard looked like he was 27 years old out there. The hell was that? That dunk at the end, and he had the face. Let's go. One of those faces. It was ridiculous. I'm going to burn the shit out of my mouth right now. I know I'm going to burn the shit out of my mouth, and I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. It's not going to be fun, but I need this. So worth it. Yo, what's up, Pat? What's happening, dude? What's going on? What is happening? Yeah, I was hoping there was like a Flyers game on or something tonight. Tonight's an interesting one. Now let's see what's on the sports calendar. That's actually a smart idea by me. You don't have the Flyers, but you do have a doubleheader. Well, you got the Flyers Saturday, Sunday. You got the 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock, Saturday, Sunday. And then also on Saturday, you got the Sixers. So you got a packed weekend when it comes to Philly sports. But tonight's a little quiet. So on the national schedule, let's say, you have Celtics, Pacers, pretty much both 500 squads. Ew. Lakers, Trailblazers. If Anthony Davis was available, it would be more entertaining. But this Lakers team, the storyline between the Lakers and the NBA right now is a big one, though. You have a team that's struggling and losing 5 straight. How about the college hoops schedule? In the top 25, at least, Loyola Chicago is the only game on. All right. But that doesn't mean there's not some other good games on. Let's get to the puck. What do we have here with the hockey? Bruins, Rangers. Wow, it's a quiet night on the ice. The fuck am I going to do tonight? Might be the night where you buy time with the fiance. Oh, babe, I just want to watch a movie with you. You know, all day long, I thought about just watching TV with you. Might be one of those nights. Get the points you need to cash in on, utilize the time right. I gotta game plan this, I gotta game plan this. Sam asked my thoughts on resting Embiid against the Cavs to try and get him right again. I don't know. I mean, do I think the problem with Embiid right now is fatigue, or do I think he's just in a little bit of a funk? And I guess, does it correlate? Does the little bit of a funk relate to being in a situation where you're tired? I guess it is. Look, I'm not against it. If he doesn't play against the Cavs, am I going to throw a fit? Absolutely not. But I would like to see him play. I want to see him battle through this. I want to see him play. I want to see him go out there and try and earn, like, hey, I'm in this funk. Let me get out of this mess by playing through it. But I want to be against it. I'm not going to cry. You know what I mean? Yo, what's up, Big Play Slay? What's up, Charles? What's happening? Phillies are starting on Sunday. Not televised. Yeah, I know. It sucks. Damn, man. Every time. Usually we let teams close out quarters to take all the momentum and take the lead from us. The end of the third quarter where we extended the lead to 18 was beautiful. That's from Omar. Not only the extension at that third quarter mark, but it was also before the half. There was some big-time explosive plays to help kind of solidify that win a little bit. I thought that second quarter was insane. Now, I know they outscored them big time in that quarter as well. I forget exactly the differential. It was a lot to a little, though. 36-21 in that second quarter frame. So I hate to look back and say, well, they won the game because of that second quarter when there was a whole half of basketball left. There was 24 minutes to play from that point on. So there was a lot left. That was a big time moment, though. You solidified your stance and you kept your foot on the gas, which is important, which I value just as much. But you blew them away in that second quarter. It started with the defense. The defense was ridiculous. The defense was insane. It really was. Thoughts on Maxi's spot in the rotation? I think it makes a lot of sense. Here's a guy who's young in his career, who is on a championship caliber team. Yeah, he's probably not going to play much. And he probably shouldn't play much when you talk about, the real moments of an NBA season for a championship caliber squad. Yeah, he probably shouldn't play. This is the proper spot for him. 2009 Dwight Howard. Yeah, he sure showed up last night. I talk about it all the time. The roller coaster of Dwight Howard is hysterical to me. I never know what you never know. In general, you never know what you're going to get out of him. You don't know what version you're going to get out of him. You don't know if he's going to pick up 6 fouls in 2 minutes. You don't know if he's going to have 9 monster dunks. You don't know if he's going to get fouled or if he stinks so much that he's 2 feet from the basket and throws it over his head thinking he's going to get a foul. You never know. Hey, Brodes, I know you love your dominance. So how do I feel about Michael Phelps? I think the most dominant athlete of all time. That is random as hell. Interesting, for sure. You're right. I do love dominance. I love LeBron. I love Serena Williams doesn't get, in the sports world, she gets enough respect by, national media coverage and all. But I'm talking about from sports fans. Most people don't give Serena Williams the respect she deserves. LeBron and Serena are my 2 favorite athletes. Tom Brady's making a close run at it here. Sidney Crosby is amazing, and I'll cry the day that he retires. So you're not wrong. You're not wrong with his dominance thing. But I guess with swimming and the way that it's laid out and because of the Olympics and it's really just the Olympics for us casual swimmer watchers, if you will, there's nothing to watch him at. There's no, hey, Michael Phelps is on at 8 p.m. on NBC Sports Philadelphia or NBC Sports Network, I should say, or the national NBC network. He's not on. So I respect him. It's great. I just don't know if I could be yeah, Michael Phelps. Can't watch the guy. Where are we here? Bench provided some help last night. Not only that, I got my notes here from last night's episode of the post-game pod. Not only was it the bench, the points in the paint in favor of the Sixers by far. And the limited turnovers. The fact that the Sixers kept the ball in their own hands, while you had the Dallas Mavericks turn the ball over 20-plus times. Luka was swarmed all night long. Now, people pointed out that when he hit some of those deep bomb threes, it wasn't even Ben on him. Yeah, I wasn't even talking about in reference to Ben specifically. I was just talking about Luka's offense in general as a whole. When Luka was making his shots, it wasn't as if there was this, great play on his offensive repertoire, that he went and destroyed the defending. No, he didn't destroy the defending. He just took 90-footers. Yeah, have at it. Take your 90-footers all night. Do I watch Formula One racing? I do not. I'm out on NASCAR. I'm out on any sort of driving. Now, that doesn't mean I think it. I'm not into it, but it doesn't mean I bash it. Yes, I know. I did notice you, Green. I did notice you. I look at the comments. I see the people. You were the one that commented about Tobias, right? Look, I pay attention out here. I do. Simmons took Doncic out of the game mostly. For sure he did. Yeah, no doubt. He put the clamps down. And I know it's not sexy. It's not. Hey, go watch this basketball game and go watch a defender. Oh, yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun. In an era where there's teams like the Utah Jazz putting out 23-pointers in a game and cashing in all these points, go watch Ben Simmons defend. I know it's just not the sexiest thing in the world, but when you watch it, it sure is. When you watch it from the angle of just defensive perspective, it's fucking amazing. The guy is unbelievable. It really is. It really is amazing. And He's starting to turn a corner on me. You know that I cracked earlier in the season, but I've been a Ben Simmons stan to the point before I cracked, and now here we are. Here we are once again, and I have fallen in love with Ben Simmons once again. We are back in the Ben Simmons I love you phase. This is from Martin Santiago with a $5 donation. Audrey, do a video with RB and Eastwood. Please. This would be an awesome dynamic. Yeah, actually, thank you so much, Martin, for the donation. We've been in contact. We got each other's numbers and all. The problem is just solidifying a time. Like, we all want to connect. We all want to do our things together. You know, we all do this all the time. Like, it's fantastic to see each of us kind of take our steps with our own shows. And we've been in contact with each other. Just, it's hard with scheduling, but yes, to answer your question, and thank you so much for the $5 donation. We're in contact with each other for sure. And thank you so much for all the support and for them too as well, Eastwood and RB. I love them. I love to see their growth as well. Chris Sheehan comes in, $2 donation. Do you think trade rumors activated aggressive Ben? I don't know what it was with Ben. There is this version of Ben that comes out when something crazy happens, right? Whether it's him not being in the All-Star running votes or him catching a lot of heat. There's a lot of momentum that normally forces him to play this crazy way. And do I think it was the talks? Maybe not, because I always go back to the guy was being discussed in a trade talk for James Harden, not Joe Blow. Not no names off the street. Not Grayson Allen. You're talking about James Harden. So if anything, I don't know if that really bothered him to that level. He probably took it as a positive. Brodes, when are you getting a little more tattoo work done? I wish today. I got to still get this one. This one just needs to get colored in, but there's enough in there black that it makes it not look unfinished. The problem is, now that I'm a homeowner, things are happening around the house that, one after the next, this and that. Got the office space. All right, the office space is done. Now we got to rip up the carpet. Oh, we had to demolish the trees in the backyard. It's one after the next. The money I had saved away to get it all finished, put to the damn house. Damn. Hate when that happens. Soon, though, hopefully, is your question. I got a lot more to go. There's no denying that. And we're gonna get all tatted for sure. $2 donation from Furcon Korkmaz. If that can be Dwight in the playoffs, Nets are screwed. Well, the thing is, right? I mean, how many minutes did he end up playing last night? Way more than you're ever going to see him play in a postseason game, unless it wasn't. But from my remembering here, 16 minutes. Yeah, it's definitely going to be more, I'd imagine, than what you see in a postseason game. Although the majority of the game, what you saw in the explosive parts of the game for him, like if Embiid plays 35, does that mean Dwight's playing 13? Or is Ben going to play 5 minutes at the 5, and then that means 7 minutes to Dwight? It's all matchup based. There's going to be matchups that make sense for Dwight. There's going to be matchups that make sense for Ben Simmons. So 16, I don't know if you'd see 16 in the postseason, but yeah, you might see about 12 or so of Dwight Howard. And you're right. If you get this version, then yes, it's insane. You're going to get this version. I can't rely on this version of Dwight Howard. This is more of the outlier than the actual out of Dwight. Simmons, Defensive Player of the Year. He's so good. He really is that good defensively, yeah. And the fact that he takes so much pride in it is awesome. Vincent comes in and says, thank you, Tyler Johnson. That's a good one. Yeah, what did he say? Take that, Tyler Johnson. Mark Zumoff did when he took that explosive attack to the rim with the monster jam. I can't believe that Tyler Johnson is actually still playing basketball in the association. He should be at the local park. Matthew. Matthew comes in and asks this question. Brodes, do you think the Phillies will win the NL East? Matthew. No, I don't. No, does anybody? Do you think they're going to win the NL East? Does anybody think that the Phillies are actually going to win the NL East? The answer is no. Do I think that they're going to be fun and entertaining? I do. I think that there's a buzz happening here with this Phillies team. And yeah, I do. I think that there's going to be some excitement out of this Phillies squad. Can the Phillies make the playoffs? Now, that's another question that comes in. Different question. Snag so cold, asked it. And I wouldn't bet on it. Seriously, I wouldn't bet on it. I would say, is it out of the question? No. Is it a little bit of a reach? Probably. And if they do make it, it's because it's that second spot coming down the stretch. They got to win games in September. That's where I think they're going to either make or break their playoff run. The problem is, knowing where the NL West is, one of those teams is going to make the playoffs, right? The Padres are like, we all imagine the Dodgers are going to win the division because that's what we're used to. That's what they do. The Dodgers constantly pound that division with victories. So the Padres are going to make it. So that doesn't mean many other spots throughout the other divisions to go in there and make the postseason. That's where I'm having the issue. One playoff spot is essentially solidified already. So that's where we have the problem. Can we make it with Odorizzi? I think it puts you in a better position. I think Odorizzi helps out big time. In 2019, you have to remember they did win. He made the All-Star game, and he was sensational. His strikeouts per nine up where Zach Eflin is right now. We were juiced up for that Zach Eflin strikeout per nine ratio. His numbers were solid. Like, yeah, that would be really great then because you're betting on Matt Moore or Chase Anderson. Matt Moore had a good year in Japan. That's not the NBA. You're not going up against Ronald Acuna Jr., Freddie Freeman, Ozzie Albies, Juan Soto, Francisco Lindor, who's now in the division, by the way. You're not doing that in Japan. And that's no knock on what he did. He had a great stretch in Japan. It's not the MLB, though. You're taking flyers on certain guys. Some of those guys won't pan out. Odorizzi, he's not as much of a flyer. Now, there is a little bit of injury history last season, barely played. So there is a flyer, but it's not like he has enough of a resume where you know what he is more than you don't know what he is. With Chase Anderson and Matt Moore, their resumes don't give you that comfortableness around who they are, if you will. Brodes, hypothetical. Okay. 6 future championships. Split them between the 4 Philly teams in preference. Well, 6 Super Bowls. Can I do that? Or does that make me a bad person? Does that make me an asshole? Or am I being... Because 6 Super Bowls, now you're talking about you just had one of the best dynasties ever. You just experienced the New England Patriots. 6 championships. Do I just want to rock with a Tom Brady-level Eagles franchise run? It's a really good question. I might bring this onto the Sports Bash later today. 6, I'm going to write this down. 6 future championships. Separate them in preference. I like that. That's good. Now, that was my initial thought. Now, I'm not saying I'm running with it. I'm not saying I'm going to run with that. But my initial thought was, give me the championships, all with the Eagles, and give me a Super Bowl Tom Brady level run. But would it be cool to still have 3 Super Bowls, slide in that Stanley Cup championship, maybe work a Phillies run in there where they get 2 and they beat out the 08 side of things, and the Sixers get an NBA title? Was that too many? Yeah, maybe. Yeah, that was too many. Now I'm giving myself 7. Now I'm getting greedy. Damn it. Am I going to change my answer? Yeah, I guess I am. It wouldn't be smart to just do a dynasty of a Jalen Hurts, Nick Sirianni 6-year Super Bowl run. I'll go 3 Super Bowls, 1 Flyers, 1 Phillies, 1 Sixers. How about that? It's a really good question, though. Why don't you guys comment in the comment section what you guys would do in that scenario? That's a good question. I like that one. Are the Sixers the favorite in the East if they get Kyle Lowry for Green, Scott, Maxey, and the first? Do I think they're the first in the East? I don't think so. I think this Brooklyn Nets team is turning that page. I would have to see it. Could they possibly? Yeah, I'm not ruling that out. I think it has the ability to get to that level if it flows. Like, there's an adjustment. Now you got to implement a new guy. Now you got to implement a new starter. You got to figure out your rotation. You got to find a way to have Lowry be the guy with the second unit as well, right? I mean, if you go to the bench, you don't have a ball handler. I mean, what? Oh, you put Maxey in there, so Shake Milton would still be available. He's not in the trade, so Shake would be there to help that second unit out. I would just have to see what it looks like because there will be an adjustment period while the Brooklyn Nets somewhat already went through that. They already figured themselves out. They already learned themselves, so it's a little bit of a different situation. S-Rock 25. Brodes, your feeling of the likelihood we land Lowry or someone of starter value. I do think where there's smoke, there's fire. I think there's something to where Kyle Lowry is from. The backyard here in Philly. It all trends to me that, look, Kyle Lowry in play for the Sixers, where there's smoke, there's fire right now. And I think that's the target because as much as I like George Hill or I like DeLon Wright or I like anybody else that possibly could be picked up to help out with this veteran leadership, Lowry actually moves the needle significantly more. George Hill's nice. He is a nice player. Kyle Lowry actually makes it like, whoa, hold on a second. What are you adding here? The guy's actually a beast. And we'll look up his numbers in a second here after I take a sip of this fat coffee. All right. So we'll he's averaging like 18 points per game, and he's shooting very well from three. Now, he's been a little banged up, and he missed a couple of games, but so he's averaging 18 points per game. Damn, why is this font so small? I feel like I'm 95 here. Let's expand my web browser, shall we? 18. Hey, Google Ads. I'm done with you over here. 18 points per game, 3-point percentage, just about 40%. So you got a guy at age 34, will be 35, who's cruising with 18 points per game and shooting 40% from three. You're not going to get that out of George Hill. You're not going to get that out of anybody else. Like that's like the best you can get right now. It really is. Now you're losing Danny Green. So you are losing something. You're losing some players. You're losing some depth. You see, look at this. Tobias Harris, we need to learn more information on his injury. And it didn't seem good that they're going to have to do more tests today. But if you do make this trade, and it's not going to happen right now, this second, unless the bomb drops as we are standing here or sitting here, you need Mike Scott right now to play a little four. Now, you can play Ben Simmons at the four and put Kyle Lowry at the starting position. So I guess that just counters what, my concern is with allowing Mike Scott to go at this moment. Not long-term, not for a playoff run. Mike Scott's not going to be implemented much. I'm talking more short-term throughout this injury with Tobias Harris. And, I'm not going to lie to you. I barely even saw what happened to Toby. Before I knew it, he was just running into the locker room. And they didn't really, unless I missed it, but they didn't really show hey, this is what happened to Tobias Harris, unless I did miss that. But all I saw was the reports that he went back to the locker room and him running back towards the locker room. So hopefully it's not that bad. Rick says, do you remember when you hated the face of Kyle Lowry, Brodes? Yeah, yes, I do. And I still do. He's a pest. But that's what he's supposed to be. For me to say that Kyle Lowry over these years has been a hate the face, that's almost respecting his play. He wants that. That's what he does so well. He's annoying. He bothers you. He's irritating. He's the annoying brother that licks his fingers and puts his fingers in your ear and gives you a wet willy. He's annoying. So it's a sign of respect. You're a hate the face. It's a sign of respect for some. For others, not so much. Like Sean Payton and his hate the face, that's not because of respect. That's because I hate him. There's a difference. Raptors fan here. How you guys doing? We're not giving up Lowry. Well, John, I think in theory, for you to say that makes sense. But no, to say you're not giving up Lowry is, I don't think that that's necessarily true. I mean, I do think that you guys all love your front office members, right? You all respect the decision making that goes on there. Best in the business, some would say. Well, guess what? When you have a $30 million expiring contract with a 34-year-old that you're not particularly thinking about bringing back, you make your trade. You make that move. Now, I'm not saying it's definite 100%, but to act as if it's not a real thought or to act as if it's not actually in play and this is all just baloney, that's different. I think they're shopping him. Maybe they don't get the right package. And if they don't get the right package, knowing the Eastern Conference not some insane threat, maybe they value keeping Lowry and letting it ride. But there is legitimacy to them shopping Kyle Lowry. There is. Jacob asked the question, if we do get Lowry, do we think the chemistry will be ruined? Now, I don't think the chemistry will be ruined. I think you need to find the new chemistry. There might be bumps and bruises along the way, but ruined to me, the way I interpreted that question is like, it's going to be a fire sale. Like, hey, this is a burning building. You know, the guy of It's Fine gif with the fire, everything's fire. This is fine. No, it's not going to be to that level. There might be some turnovers, and you need to get adjusted with Kyle Lowry on certain sets and certain plays. But no, I don't think it's going to be like, hey, don't go out and get Kyle Lowry because it will be ruined. I don't think it'll be there. Maxey, Matisse, and a first-round pick plus filter, and I know you don't want to do it. Well, the problem is the money doesn't match. The money's the problem. Danny Green, Mike Scott, Ferguson, those players, Tony Brown, they have to be thrown into the mix to even match the contracts. Once you match the money side of things, then you start talking business with, okay, who intrigues you? Because you don't want Danny Green because of Danny Green's play. You don't want Ferguson because of Ferguson's play or Mike Scott because of Mike Scott's play. You want this trade because of the first rounder, the Maxey, the Matisse Thybulle. That's why you want him. Now, the reason why I'd be willing to give guys up more than normal is because I think there's a good case that he comes back and returns. So you can have Kyle Lowry return, play in Philadelphia, have a chance to compete for a championship, have a chance to come home and do it. There's probably truth to, yo, you're sticking around a little bit, right? Hey, a little nod, wink, wink. Yo, you're sticking around Philly. Now you make those moves and you have a Kyle Lowry for more years. You don't make that move for the backstretch of this season. I don't know if this season's go all in mode. I think next season's more go all in mode than this year. I really do. Oh, Phil. Oh, okay. Excuse me. I'm sorry, John. I misinterpreted the filter as that's what you meant. I apologize. Yes, that is what you would need. But Kyle Lowry is 34 years old. That's right. He's 34, but he's not that guy. You're not bringing in Kyle Lowry to be Joel Embiid's role, right? I mean, you're bringing in Kyle Lowry to be, if it's Ben, Joel, Tobias, fourth guy, fourth option, third, fourth option. You've seen him win a championship as that option. When Kawhi was there, where was Kyle Lowry? He wasn't the Kawhi Leonard option. At 34, look, you win a championship because you're surrounded by the right pieces. And a 34-year-old veteran winner in Kyle Lowry is a good piece to have surrounding your team right now. I honestly do believe to some extent he is your perfect fit defense. Now he defends a different position than Danny can, but Danny's slipping a bit on that end. He does give you the option, though, some nights when it's not as bad. But look, you got the defense, you got the shooting, you got the ball handling. It's everything that you need in a player. Exactly, Anthony. If Kyle is our fourth option, I think we're pretty good. Even if he's your third option. The point is he's not your first or second. And when he's not your first or second, you're in a good position. And I'm intrigued to see what that can look like. And Seth Curry had a nice bounce-back game last night. Maybe a little bit of, hey, screw you for trading me. I know he mentioned something about the business decision. No hard feelings. He likes people over there, but he wasn't a fan of their business decision. What did he finish with? 6 of 9 from the field, 3 of 3 from 3. Yeah, Seth Curry was big last night. There's no denying that. Seth Curry got out of his funk. And I think this is kind of what you're going to get out of him, right? You're going to get those games where you want to rip your hair out and you're confused on why you can't drill any shots. And then you're going to get those games where he's fantastic and he's amazing and he's red hot. I always go down this road. Welcome to being a shooter in the NBA. You have your hot nights. You have your cold nights. Last night was one of his hot nights. And I was waiting to see if Josh Richardson was going to drop a 40 burger on us. It would just be so Philly to watch a player come back like Josh Richardson and have a big night. He had that and one. I think it was Matisse Thybulle that fouled him right around the free throw line for that mid-range J. But Josh Richardson didn't do anything out there. Luka couldn't do a damn thing. He said something after the game about how, I want to see if I can find the quote exactly, but it had something to do with, I don't really notice who's on me. I just try and play, which is total baloney, by the way. As I type in Luka Doncic to find the quotes on Twitter, his highlight reel comes up of him, making a big three last night. Well, he got clamped down, man. He got clamped down. So let's be a little better. Let's see if I can find his quotes. Maybe Luka Doncic, Ben Simmons. Maybe I'll type that, see if that pops up. Luka Doncic was 6 of 13 from the floor, had 7 turnovers, and was minus 20. Okay, this is from Derek Bodner. I just want to make sure I read it right. Ben Simmons had 7 points on... No. But when Luka Doncic was being defended by Ben Simmons, Luka Doncic had 7 points on 3 of 9 shooting with 5 turnovers. Now, someone else has another stat out there. This is per NBA.com. A little different, but still shows you the significance of Ben on him. 6 points, 3 of 7 shooting, 0 of 3 from 3 with 4 turnovers. So, yeah, the Ben Simmons effect is real. It is legit. It is insane. Do you think the Sixers are going to go after a point guard or small forward? Well, I think if anything, they need a stretch big and they need a point guard. Probably point guard. It seems to be because you heard George Hill before. Now you're hearing Kyle Lowry. So, yes, I think you're going more point guard. Ethan says, hey, Brodes, I literally just woke up. LOL. Well, Ethan, grab yourself a cup of coffee. Kick back, relax, throw Coffee with Brodes up on your television screen, whether it's on Twitter, whether it's on Twitch, whether it's on YouTube. You can find me there in all of these locations. By the way, I just want to throw this out there. Every Wednesday, I do a hump day giveaway on my Twitter page at Brodes81. And right now, I am giving away a signed picture of Bernie Perrant. Last week, it was a signed picture of Ron Jaworski. The week before that, it was a signed puck by Claude Giroux. Before that, it was a new era snow hat, a Philadelphia Eagles beautiful snow hat. And all you have to do is retweet my tweet that explains the giveaway and follow me. It's very simple, and it's pinned to the top of my tweet at Brodes81 on Twitter. Make sure you are entered to win, and make sure you're following me because every Wednesday there is a hump day giveaway. So get involved. You're going to be slapping yourself in the face if you are not constantly in the running. I mean, it's so simple. Retweet a tweet and follow me. Bang! You're in a spot to win a signed picture of Bernie Perrant. Come on, legend, absolute legend. I mentioned how Ethan said I just woke up, and then TK says I wish I just woke up. Yeah, no doubt about that. I do need to do a better job. I'm not going to lie to you. Coffee with Brodes starts at 9. I'm in this funk right now of waking up at 8:45. So it's a scramble of, throw the hat on, make the coffee, run down here. It's 9:01, zoom the camera in. You know what I mean? It's like, maybe I should wake up at 8:15. Maybe I should wake up at 8:30. But here's why I do this. When I wake up, I need you. When I wake up, this needs to be going through my veins. And if I wake up at 8:15, now that's 45 minutes of not having that because I love you all so much. I wait for you. So it's harder to wait. Will we bring back Ursan? I think the Ursan train has sailed. I really do. I think that's far gone. Should the Sixers get LeBron? If the Sixers had LeBron James, I don't know how I would control myself. I am your ultimate LeBron James stan. I'm that guy. I'm the guy always defending him. He gets way too much slander. It's ridiculous. Martin Santiago comes back in with a $5 donation. Who would you rather have shooting off the pick and roll with Embiid? JJ, Furkan, or Steph? Also, thoughts on getting JJ back? I love his chemistry with Joel. Need it. Well, first off, thank you so much, Martin, for the $5 donation. It means so much to me. Definitely not Furkan. Furkan's not my first choice. Based off of where you are now, I mean, the answer is Seth Curry. Thoughts on JJ coming back? Well, if Kyle Lowry is the move, I don't see. I don't see how JJ gets here. He's also having a bad season. Now, would he have that much of a bad season if he wasn't on the New Orleans Pelicans, which I watched that game last night, and that Bucks ending was pretty crazy. But yeah, JJ Redick is shooting. I love how this is a down year for him, but it is 36% from three, which is basically league average for a guy who at one point shot 47% from three with the Clippers at, oh my Lord, he was almost shooting 48% from three back in 2015. I didn't realize it was that high. 42, 43, 45, those type of numbers. Yeah, like you're used to that out of JJ, which is nuts. Now he's shooting 36. Bringing him in right now, I don't know. I don't know if that's the best way to go. I'd rather do Kyle Lowry. He's a 40% shooter kind of guy. Could you implement the pick and roll game with him? I think maybe that would be unique as well. So maybe my answer is a no to JJ Redick. Of the three, Seth Curry, but maybe you can work with a little pick and roll with Kyle Lowry. That gets interesting. Thank you so much for the donation. Connor comes in with a $2 donation as well and says super, unless that is a sticker. I'm a little confused on that, but thank you so much, Connor Thompson, for the $2 donation. Defense is too bad with him, to be honest. With JJ Redick, yes. The problem is there's not many, there are 3-and-D guys, for sure. But when it comes to 48% shooting guys, 45% shooting guys, like you're going to have to sacrifice having a Seth Curry out there who can shoot the rock but might not be your best defender, who can just hang on, who might be weaker, and the guys will target, but they can hang in there a little bit. You can get some help defense. You can live with that. Not everyone's going to be 3-and-D, but with JJ, there is a problem there. There is a hole there, and I don't know if the production is there right now with his age. I think that's also a big part of it. Captain Claude the other night. Let's get a little flyers in here coming from Chris. Captain Claude the other night. Remember the guy in here the other day who said G was the problem? I can't stand that narrative. I can't stand that narrative. As if the organization hasn't been a dumpster fire throughout his entire tenure when he was the guy. When he was younger, yeah, it was in a different spot. But once he became the guy, the captain and all this, it's a shame. You know, he's going to get such a stain on his career. He's going to be an all-timer in this organization, but people are going to be dumb assholes about it and not appreciate his greatness because they didn't win the cup. Well, they didn't win the cup because who was in that all those years? Steve Mason, Brizgalov, you name it. It was a joke in between the pipes. It was a joke when you were trying to be the Broad Street bullies in the 70s when everybody else is young, fourth line, speed. You're stuck in your old ways. The franchise was an embarrassment when Claude Giroux was in play for his leadership, and yet it's his fault they didn't win a Stanley Cup. Morons. Morons is what it is. Morons. Ethan was extremely Okay, I'm getting a little bit of a lag here. Ethan was extremely impressed with Dwight Howard last night. Me too. That was a fun version of Dwight Howard. If that's the Dwight Howard you get a lot, well, that would be fun. Really. I don't think you get that version enough, though. I don't think you get that version enough. It's super entertaining, though, to see the dunks. Speaking of dunks, though, Ben is throwing the ball down hard at the rim, right? No joke. Like, legitimately, seriously going to, he's going to break the rim, is what it is. He's going to break the damn rim. Seth is a better defender than JJ, that's for sure. Seth is underrated as a defender. He can hold his own until help arrives. Yeah, he's not a good defender by any means, but he's not as much of a liability as some shooters out there. That's the difference. Like, he is a liability, but it's not to the level of, here's Furkan Korkmaz, and then you lick your fingers. Here we go, baby. Let's lick the chops a little bit because we're going to go to town. Furkan Korkmaz with the $2 donation. You watch Inside the NBA on Thursday nights? To be honest with you, I'm not like I gotta go sit down and watch Inside the NBA. Like, no, I don't. To be honest with you, I don't go too crazy with it. I was waiting for Shaq and Charles to all rip apart Joel Embiid for being fat, being out of shape. What did Charles Barkley say last night that got everyone a little nuts on social media? Oh, yes, he called Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid Kobe and Shaquille O'Neal light. Isn't that what he said? That got people out of whack. And, yeah, I don't know where he was going there. I love these two. I love watching these two. They're super entertaining. I don't know if I can go to the level of Kobe Bryant and Shaq. I think that's a little egregious. But thank you so much for the $2 donation. Do I think George Hill and Zach LaVine will make us a real title contender? I can't see the Sixers in the finals with the Nets killing every team by their trio. With the Nets killing it. I don't know how you get George Hill and Zach LaVine here. I don't think it's a reality. You don't get Zach LaVine here for, like, if you're the Bulls, what are you taking from the Sixers that move the needle that much for Zach LaVine? The problem is the only guy that would have value is Ben Simmons in that deal, and I'm not doing it. So I just don't think Zach LaVine is in play. I don't think it's a realistic trade. I don't think that there's anything on your roster that you'd be willing to give up that they would be willing to take. They're looking at Zach LaVine as, we have our guy. Why would I give up Zach LaVine for Tyrese Maxey and Shake Milton? Why would I do that? I want Zach LaVine. I'm trying to find a Zach LaVine. You would hope that Tyrese Maxey became Zach LaVine or became like, isn't that what you want? So if you're not getting a Ben Simmons, I'm looking at it from a Bulls perspective. With all due respect to these young cats that the Sixers have that are dangling around for some trade pieces, you're not moving on from Zach LaVine for those guys. So I don't see how that's a reality. I really don't. George Hill and PJ Tucker. Now, Wesley Stone puts that up on the comment section. Those would be that is where it's okay. Would you rather have Kyle Lowry, or would you, without Danny Green, without Mike Scott, without Tyrese Maxey, or would you rather get George Hill and PJ Tucker, keep Danny Green, keep some of your younger guys, keep your draft picks, and get a George Hill and a PJ Tucker? Let's use that as what you want to bounce the Kyle Lowry off of. If you don't get Lowry, would George Hill and PJ Tucker, your point guard, your stretch four, would those two then move the needle enough where, fine, we won't get Lowry, we won't make the move, we won't give up pieces, but we can still make a push with getting these two veterans? What say you? How about we react in the comment section to your thoughts on that concept instead of Kyle Lowry? Now, I think Kyle Lowry makes you a better team, but if you want to keep everything together and you don't want to go all in right now, maybe you want to wait a year, let the Danny Green money come off the books, keep Shake Milton, keep Matisse Thybulle, would you do that? I kind of like upgrading 2 players for the cost of 3. Depth just seems so thin. Yeah, then that's the problem for sure. That is a problem 100%. I would love to have Victor Oladipo on our team. Yeah, that's another one. The interesting one for him is Victor Oladipo. Like, he was having that great year, but then what happened to him? The fact that he's always being traded, like, it's sort of like, all right, when you heard the name Tobias Harris in the beginning, we fell in love. Why? Because we saw the numbers. But we realized, okay, he was in, how many different teams was he on? Detroit, Orlando, the Clippers, the Sixers. What's the matter? Why is he getting moved around a lot? Then you realize, well, with Oladipo, Orlando, and then Indiana, and then Houston, and then it'll be the Sixers. Look, he's scoring 19 points per game, and he shoots around. Where is he from 3? Well, there's your problem there. 28% from 3, which is putrid. I mean, just god-awful. Yeah, I mean, I don't even know if I want Oladipo, to be honest with you. And it's not just because the three-point shooting. Look, when a guy starts getting traded all around like this, there's a problem why he's constantly on the move. Injuries did mess him up. He did have a really gruesome one, which is a problem, right? I mean, not everyone can just bounce back from a gruesome injury and be this crazy, crazy player. But yeah, that's a problem. What about Blake Griffin? Blake Griffin stinks. Blake Griffin has the worst contract in NBA history. He's a fraud. Blake Griffin, I don't even want to ever look at the name Blake Griffin. He blows. Seriously, he blows. Do I think Kyle Lowry would be good for us? Yes. Yes, absolutely. I think Kyle Lowry would be good for you. I just don't know if I'd be willing to give up everybody and all of this for a half a season of Kyle Lowry. It would have to be for more. I'd be more willing if I knew he was going to stay here. That's the problem I'm having. If he's bought out. Nope, I don't want Blake Griffin. I don't think Blake Griffin is what you need, to be honest with you. I'm not on the Blake Griffin train. I know that he was once a nice player in this league. A couple of years ago, we dropped 50 on the Sixers. That's right. I think that was even in the Wells Fargo Center. Maybe it wasn't, but he did drop 50 points. Yeah, I think it was in the Wells Fargo Center, if I remember correctly. So, I mean, he does have this skill set, but he's a shell of himself at this point. I don't want anything to do with a broken down player when you can maybe go out and get just that veteran nice piece that knows his role, a PJ Tucker, George Hill, not extremely banged up. I'm out on that. I'm out on anything Blake Griffin related. Chris comes back in and asks, am I excited for the Phillies? 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 He says. I've been dreaming of Matt Moore for the last 4 nights waiting for Sunday's action. Even though I know he's not going, that's where I am right now. Blake Griffin's clearly dogging it to get out of Detroit. He's dogging it because he stinks. I don't know if he's dogging it. I think this is who he is. I think this is just who Blake Griffin is. The man gets paid $38 million a year. He's robbing money, man. He's robbing the Detroit Pistons. You look at it as he's dogging it. I look at it as he sucks. And that's why it looks like he's dogging it. Do I think the Phillies should get Odorizzi? Of course I do. Of course I do. We can get PJ Tucker for Mike Scott's expiring and maybe a second. We can move Maxey and some seconds to the Knicks for Rose. Now it's like, okay, PJ Tucker, George Hill, Derrick Rose. Yeah, I think at some point I don't know if we go to the Knicks route for D Rose. I don't know if that's in play. I don't know if you're giving up Maxey for Derrick Rose. I don't know. Would you give up Maxey for Derrick Rose? I don't know. I would need more time to sit on it, but my initial thought would be no. Philly fan from South Dakota with the $2 donation. Brodes is awesome. Like, sub, and follow. Thank you so much, Philly fans from South Dakota. That is awesome. I appreciate all the support. The lovely tweet last night and chiming in yesterday on Coffee with Brodes. Thank you so much for all of the support. And thank you for the $2 donation. I don't think Rose can be traded because he was just traded. I think we looked this up where you can, after 30 days, you can trade him. It just can't be back to the original team because Danny Green's going to be they traded for Danny Green this year, right? And now you're moving Danny Green. So I think that there's a rule about a 30-day rule. If we looked that up correctly, we looked it up on 97.3 the other day. So I'm pretty sure that's what it was. Young Capri Sun is watching from South Jersey. Beautiful. As I am in South Jersey, I'm a South Jersey native. Tyrese Maxey would be amazing if he was on a bad team. Well, that's what he needs. Right now, he's so young. Just go play. Just go play, learn, grow, have some bad moments, have some great moments. That's why it's tough for these younger guys like Tyrese Maxey to be on a championship contender team. It's easy to go play for the Pistons, for the Cleveland Cavaliers, like these younger teams. Just go do it. There's no real pressure. There's no real stress. Just go play. And you saw that when everyone was on the COVID list for the Sixers, he had 30-plus points. Well, how many shots did he take? 1 million. But that's what happens when you're young. Just go out there. It's tough to be on a championship caliber team. Your role is going to diminish a bit, whether it's fair or not. And that's the right way to handle things if you're Doc Rivers, to be honest with you. You're not going to have Tyrese Maxey, this young rookie, in a playoff moment, leading your team in the end of the third quarter, entering the fourth quarter, being your primary ball handler until your starters get back into the game, right? I mean, it's just not how it works. Would you include Maxey in a Lowry deal? Yes. In a Lowry deal, yes. Because of the three, Shake, Matisse, Maxey. If you're looking at right now, Well, I think Matisse Thybulle and Shake Milton are way more important right now over Tyrese Maxey. Now, ironically enough, I think Tyrese Maxey is going to be the best player of all three. But if you're looking for a championship window and you're opening that up significantly more with the trade, it doesn't matter about 5-6 years down the road of Tyrese Maxey. It doesn't matter what Maxey becomes when he's 24, 25 years old. He might be a stud, and I think he's going to be a stud. But when you're in the mode now that you're in, you got to give that up to go out and get that helping piece right now as we stand. So that's why you do that. Joey Greenfield comes in. Ben Simmons is MVP. Over Joel Embiid, you say, Joey? Come on, you're disrespecting the big man. Disrespecting the big man. I can't wait to go back to see my teams play. Yeah, it does seem like we're getting some positive news, Shane. It does seem like we're hearing some conversation about allowing fans in the stands, whether it's just a couple thousand in the Wells Fargo Center. But that does the difference, man. It really does. I'm looking forward to having people back. Last night, I laid back, I relaxed, and I watched a Tiger Woods. It wasn't a Tiger Woods documentary. It's not the one that everyone's watching on HBO or Showtime or whatever one that is right now that he gets beat up a little bit by his friends, apparently. I didn't see that. But I watched the 2019 Masters documentary, and it was insane, man. The fans and Tiger making the putt and running up to his kid. You know when you watch that sports moment where you get the goosebumps and the hair stick up on your arms? It's nuts, right? That feel, man, with those fans, I'm excited to have that back in the stadiums. And I know we might not be back to full capacity anytime soon, but I'm going to look at it with the glass half full and say, man, we're headed in the right direction here, everyone. We are. So let's just continue to do it. Can the Phillies get 90-plus wins? I hate to break the news to you. No. No, they can't. They cannot get 50-plus wins. No, 50-plus wins. 90-plus wins, excuse me. No, they cannot. They're set at 80.5 by Vegas. I think that they're in that 85 range. I think they're more in that 85 than 90. Ben Simmons is Defensive Player of the Year, and it's not close. Now, that I can agree with. That I believe with. You know, the fact that he can do 1 through 5, I know that's we throw that out all the time as if it's casual. Oh, but he can guard 1 through 5. Yeah. No. That's not normal. That's not standard. People don't do that. And it's not like, oh, he can hold his own. No. He can legitimately, lethally, in an elite way defend 1 through 5. Not, well, he can kind of hold on to centers. Look, there's some guards that give him trouble, but that's called being a 6'10 perimeter defender going up against a De'Aaron Fox. Who can stop De'Aaron Fox? Not a lot of guys. There are quicker guards that give him a little bit of problems. There's always going to be a kryptonite somewhere. For as great as Joel Embiid is, he's got a kryptonite. It seems to be the Toronto Raptors, right? So everyone has that matchup. With Ben Simmons, there's something to be said about those quicker guards who give everyone trouble, by the way. But ultimately, the fact that you can get him to this level at positions, point guard, shooting guard, small forward, power forward, and center is insanity. Phillies are a contender for last place. Our Phillies blow right now. Shane, you have no optimism? None at all? After the moves Dave Dombrowski made, you're that low? Look, there's no way it could be as worse as last year. The way I look at it is you brought back your offense from last year. The offense went cold at times, but this offense wasn't the problem. You can win games with the Phillies offense. So what did they do with the pitching? Well, I'm not going to tell you that they 100% fixed it, but I don't know how you could be any worse than the second most historic, brutal bullpen in the history of baseball. There's only one way to go. So to say they're going to blow, I mean, are they going to blow or are they going to be around 500-ish and give you some entertaining ball throughout the summer? Come on, Shane. Be a little bit more optimistic. How would I fix the Phils? Well, at this point, I think you're doing good. There's still problems in the field. Left field with McCutchen isn't great. That contract was ridiculous. You overpaid for him. Gene Segura is still on the books, so there's a problem there. Like, you don't have center field. You got to lock in center field. That's one. That's the main priority field-wise is figure out center field, and then you got to get another real starter in here. You do. The competitiveness of the starting rotation in this division is whacked. Well, Billy, I like that you brought this up. So Billy here says, Billy Cliver, Celtics out of the playoffs at the moment. Love to see it. Now, I was informed that Brad Stevens was the greatest coach in the history of the world, that he was a masterful, wonderful, insane level head coach. What's going on here? No? No answers? Are you going to tell me the players aren't performing? So when the players aren't performing for Brad Stevens, it's a different conversation for him than coaches here in the past. All I'm saying is the players are the outcome here. The roster stinks. The rosters for the Celtics stink. You could have, quote, the best coach in the damn world, but if your roster stinks and your players don't play, your coach looks like the worst coach in the NBA. Isn't that crazy how the players pretty much are whether your coach looks good or not ultimately comes down to if your players dominate or not? Huh. Isn't that such a wild thing? Isn't that such a wild theory how that works? Will Phillies make the wild card? I think down the stretch they're going to be in play. I don't know. Would 80? That's the thing. Would 86 wins get you the wild card? Probably not. Probably not, if I'm being realistic. And I see them as an 86-win team. But maybe 89. Maybe they're more than that. Maybe they're 88. Maybe they're 89. And maybe that does get you a second wild card spot. I think coming into September, you will be them. They will be in the mix. Now, will they get on that run that they need to? I don't know. They've historically fell apart here in September over the last few years. So I don't know if that would be the case. But I think they'll be in play down the stretch. They got to execute and win those games, which would scare me. The problem is the Padres in the NL West are going to have one of those spots solidified. So that means the Braves, the Mets, you're going to have to beat out one of those. Whoever doesn't win the division, you're going to have to beat out one of those teams. And I don't know if that's actually going to happen. Yeah, it looks like, 162 for the total amount of games for sure is where we're at. So, yeah, Mets and Padres, that's the problem. You look at the Mets, you look at the Padres, and it seems like they might be, wild card contending teams, and they don't. Vegas at least doesn't think that the Phillies are close to that, which I don't necessarily agree with. I think they have them too low, 80.5. That is ridiculous. It really is. But as I look at the clock here, it's 9:59, and I'm looking at how much coffee I drank. I need to find a way to drink more coffee throughout the show. I just love talking to you guys so much that it takes away me from actually drinking the coffee. So there we are. It is 10 o'clock on the dot. Another week completed of Coffee with Brodes. Just a reminder before we head out of here. This is my last day at 97.3 ESPN on the Sports Bash. Starting Monday, we are committed to Brodes Media full-time. More content, more content, more content. And oh, by the way, more content. So what you want to do to learn all about the options here and learn all about the opportunities for you to listen to me more and to get more ideas on where I'm going to be, go to my Twitter page, @Brodes81. @Brodes81. Follow me there. There's going to be a lot more news coming out, more content being created. And I'm super excited. So this couldn't have happened without all of you. I know I keep stressing that, but I mean, it's so surreal. Brodes Media, full-time, gives me the goosebumps. Thank you. I love you all. And yes, Ethan, I am stepping away from 97.3 ESPN to commit to Brodes Media full-time. That is right, starting Monday. And with that being said, I will see you on Coffee with Brodes Monday at 9 a.m., but I'll be seeing you along the weekend because you got 2 Flyers games and you have a Sixers game as well. So thank you guys so much. You are the best. You are the best. I'll see you then.